Well, for some, the pie crust, it is the best part. And for others, well, you may just avoid the crust altogether and just go straight for the filling. Well, this recipe might just make everyone happy. It is a triple chocolate pecan pie with a shortbread cookie crust in place of that traditional approach. This is a cake by Courtney concoction. Courtney, you were always leveling it up. Did we just say shortbread in all of this?
Yes, and maybe I'm leveling it down a little bit on this one.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. In a good way.
In a good way. In a good way. That's going to help a lot of us, because I am one of those people that is like, I'll go for the filling, I'm going to skip the crust.
You just never, never filling the crust.
No, and I think it broke my mom's heart, because that's what she, like when I was growing up, that's what she would teach me to make. The best pie crust and all the things with vinegar and ice water and all the things. And I'm like, no.
You had your own ideas.
I don't even love that. So I do like the fillings. And I've taken my in-laws' triple chocolate pecan pie, which is so delicious, and I've paired it with a shortbread cookie crust. And same with the pumpkin pie. I have it with the gingerbread or ginger snap cookie crust.
Ooh, I bet that's
so just switching that up a little bit. But this one is actually going to give you a flavor profile so similar to that traditional pastry pie crust. It's going to be so much easier.
Okay.
So in here, I've just taken some flour, some butter, salt, and sugar. I mixed that up, and it kind of looks crumbly. Don't let that worry you at all. And I used a hand mixer, so that's so easy, right? We're not cutting anything to get that really flaky pastry crust. And I'm gonna put this in, this one's a 9.5 pan. It has a little bit deeper sides. So you could do this, you could do a 9-inch, and you get to decide like how kind of high you want them to come.
But you found most success with the size.
Yeah, I like the 9 or the 9.5. And then we're going to push this into place. And I just like using a measuring cup to just pack that down so we create like a nice firm crust to it. It might get a little stuck, so if you need to wipe it down, you can use your hand too. This is kind of fun to get the kids involved, because they're like, wait, you're touching your food? Okay.
On this.
Kind of feels like Play-Doh. So that is gonna be the crust, and we could spend forever just sitting here perfecting how it looks, but you want it compact like that. That is gonna be key. Now, I also love that we're not pre-baking this. Everything is gonna end up baking together.
All right.
So let's get this back on. I've melted my butter. This is the filling. This is the magic. This is what I love about this recipe. And I already melted that butter, and you will just, once you've melted, take it off for just a minute, and I am just turning the heat back on because we'll need that in a second.
All right.
And you're gonna mix some brown sugar into it, and we can even actually let's grab this.
Oh, yes. Let's get in on this action.
Because you'll add your brown sugar to the butter. It's gonna get a little messy since I have a short pan. But I don't want my butter too hot when I add my eggs, because we don't want to scramble the eggs. So ignore the mess that I'm making. I promise we still have enough brown sugar in here.
So just like a warm temperature.
Yeah, just a warm temperature, and then you can just kind of gradually add these eggs while you're beating. And that kind of helps to just temper the whole mixture. Will you throw that salt in here for me as well?
Absolutely.
So we do have our heat on just kind of a medium, because we will want to watch that. And we're going to cook this mixture. And the last thing I'm putting in is going to be a little bit of corn syrup. And that's going to help us get that really, And you might need a spatula. It's only a ½ cup. Why don't you pour that in while I'm mixing? And I do have a little thermometer, a candy thermometer.
I see that.
That I like to use. Mine ran out of batteries as I was setting up today.
Of course, right on cue.
So I wanted to show you though, have that in there, because you're only cooking this to about 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
130 degrees,
Once you're done with that, and it's cooked a little bit, so it's all mixed, and then you just kind of stir it maybe occasionally with a whisk, and you're gonna get it to that temperature. So once it's at that 130, then we're adding all the yummy stuff.
Oh,
starts with
goodness.
Pecans. You can toast these, you don't have to. Let me wipe this off really quick. I'll have you pour those in really quick. Okay.
So pecans.
Yes, we're gonna add those pecans. And then the chocolate, we're actually just gonna sprinkle on top once we put it in the pie pan. If you were to put this in right now, all that chocolate would melt.
Just that would not be
good. Look at this, Tamara. It's so neat how it just kind of settles on the top and forms this really beautiful crust. We've got the gooiness right in there from that brown sugar, the eggs, the corn syrup, right? And then you've got the crust there. On top is 3 different types of chocolate. So we have a dark, a milk, and a white.
Beautiful.
And trust me, you want all 3.
Yeah,
they all need all 3. You just trust me. The Riches knew what they were doing when they made this one, and all 3 is so important. It's just a couple ounces of each, but once you've poured that over your pie, that is when you're gonna add this in, and then it just bakes low and slow. at about 275 for about an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah, if you're going to use a slightly smaller pan like just the 9-inch, I would say you might need an hour and 10. It shouldn't be jiggly in the center.
All right.
And then probably closer to an hour if you're going to use
this
the
is
deep
fabulous.
dish.
Can I give it a little sample?
Please. It's my favorite thing.
I feel bad like cutting into it because you've this creation that you've just masterpieced over here.
I've already been snacking. My husband was like, are you bringing some of that home? Because this is my favorite.
This is definitely something you could take over for the family Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you.
And just hopefully an easier version with all the things that, you know, you have going on for Thanksgiving and the holidays. Hopefully it simplifies it a little bit. But then if you don't love pie crust like me, we've got some other options.
Shortbread is where it's at. Where can we find more of you, Courtney?
All right, cakebycourtney.com has all my recipes, my shop. You can buy tools, cookbooks, and then also Instagram, Cake by Courtney.
You're wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
This is delicious.